Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien here on the morning of Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, sitting in for Paul Harvey. Stand by for commentary. Well, Americans, this is a commentary to follow Mr. Paul Harvey. If you're upstairs with the boss, Mr. Harvey, I hope you like this commentary. 58 years ago, Mr. Harvey did a commentary that put him in the same level as Nostradamus. Okay? And of course, like the people who like Nostradamus, maybe the 1% or so, and the remaining 99% put it in file 13. Right, Mr. Harvey? And Mr. Harvey kept on harping this. He did a redone in 1996, and that's the one that you hear a lot, but you forget about the 1965 version. And the 1996 is apropos too, because it still applies 2 decades, almost 3 decades later, but it still puts Mr. Harvey even more in tune than the 1965, because it's closer to our time, and he's more prophetic in that one. But he's still Nostradamus. If you haven't seen it, you can go to your YouTube channel and push out Paul Harvey's If I Were the Devil. And the recording that you'll get is the 1996 version. But you can go to the newspapers, and in October 1964, in Chicago, he printed out If I Were the Devil, broadcast it in early 1965 through his programs on ABC. And everybody knows that, don't you? It's been a while for me, but what I remember from his was If I Were the Devil, I would, how did he put it? Go after the last seed of goodness, or something like that. The United States. And what I would do is eliminate their churches, make their priests and pastors work for me as far as denigrating children and making them be bad, gentlemen's and women's making them drink alcohol, and if I can't get most of them, I'll get them with the pills and make them druggies. I would also make the news media kind of sound for me and not for the other guy. I would also make the notion that God was created by man and not the other way around. And I would take from the rich and give to the ambitious until there was no more ambitions left. I would take the people and make them, the guys I would put in uniform to serve me in war, the women I would put as penal people to help in the penal society with all the mundane stuff we have to do. You know, basically, if you hear both versions, the 65 and the 1996 version, you'll understand why Mr. Paul Harvey was right on the money. Was he prophetic? I would say so. Just like Mr. Nostradamus, but more so, because he in tune to what was happening in 1965. He updated it in 1996 to get with the times back then, and really in tuned it even more because it's only 2 decades later here, and we're worse than he thought it was going to be. Look at today. Do we have a devil in our hands? Well, we actually got a whole bunch. We got the Democratic Party, we got the Republican Party, we got Joe Biden, and we got Donald Trump. And all those Mr. Paul Harvey predicted. Extremists. Yeah, devil likes extremism. To hell with the family unit. Yeah, and that's what's going on today. And down with the U.S. Oh, you're going to be disintegrated soon because your election's going to be a disaster. Because whether what happens to Mr. Trump and who gets to be the Republican nominee, it doesn't matter. You're already disillusioned as you are. And Mr. Biden has got even worse numbers than Mr. Trump. So unless you vote Mr. Freddie the Freeloader, you don't stand a chance at saving the United States. Because you have to find a good House Speaker in 2024 to save the U.S. And that means that both parties, the people that are sitting back and watching the extremists on both parties control your parties, got to tell them to go stick it and we'll control it from here on out. But do they do that? No. And how about you 100 million plus people who, I could care less on who's Republican and who's Democrat? And that's what Paul Harvey was trying to tell you back in 1965 and 1996. Well, you didn't heed the warning in 65, you didn't heed the warning in 96, and you won't heed the warning in 2024. So therefore, Mr. Harvey, you with the boss there, you can't blame yourself. The only people that have to blame on this is the American people themselves for letting this happen and letting Mr. Who's It with the big pitchfork and those horns take advantage of the situation. Sitting in for Paul Harvey, this is your favorite alien. Good day.